And 3, 2, 1. Are you kidding me? Welcome, Facebook Live. We are streaming live, obviously, and doing the precast as well. Let's get to a birthday here. Matt says, hey, I wish that you would give my wife, Gina, a birthday shout out because she turns the big 30 today.
Yay!
Happy birthday, Gina. Big
Gina.
30. If you sign up at Red Robin, you can get a free hamburger for your birthday. We did that last night with
Every
my
restaurant does
wife.
that.
Yeah, but that's not always as good.
I hate the ones that won't let you do it the day of.
What?
Yeah, there's some that don't let. I can't take back a serious.
Yeah, I
with a
know.
hood over
With a
her
hood over
face.
her head.
Like I've done some that it was too close to my birthday. They made me wait a whole nother year of getting their marketing emails.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's kind of crazy.
Oh, sign up. Oh, I get what you're saying. I
Right.
thought you said you couldn't redeem it on your birthday.
No,
Like,
no.
that's
like,
ridiculous.
That defeats the whole point.
Yeah.
No, but sign up at every restaurant because it'll be worth it. And some of them, they give you like a 2-week window.
Yeah.
And so you can go anytime during those 2 weeks. And then you have like 2 weeks of free food.
And some like are better than others. Like Red Robin, we ate there last night for $10. It was fabulous. But like Longhorn was like $50 or $5 off of something else, and like, that's not a good deal. So there you go. So happy birthday, Gina, the big 30th. And he goes on to say, the other day Betty Rock was talking about her scoop where you can use Play-Doh to pick up broken glass. And he said that Gina actually really appreciated that because they have 3 little kids and there's been a lot of broken glass. And so, Betty Rock, your scoop actually mattered.
What?
Oh my gosh. There are literally days where I'm going to lose my
poking
mind. I see that.
She
Okay.
can't see me.
Happy birthday, Gina. Let's move on.
People are asking why. There's really no purpose.
Yep.
Becca just.
This is how my hoodie fits.
All right. Well, how are you going to do news with your hoodie
Oh,
there?
I totally got this. So
Okay.
this first story is about this man who No, this is serious. Okay, so
Okay, I'm
doctors,
sorry.
he was gaining a ton of weight, and doctors could not figure out why. And so he keeps gaining weight. They just tell him, you have something wrong. You need to stop gaining weight. He's confined to his chair. They just found out it was because he had a 130-pound growth on his abdomen.
What?
That is
Ew.
what was causing it. Yeah, so he traveled cross country. He got the surgery. He's doing well. He's in recovery. But he's looking forward to being able to walk on his own for the first time in a long time after this tumor.
That's crazy. I'm going to look into that.
You
I think
that's
that
a
might be
yeah,
it.
plausible theory.
I have a 40-pound beach ball attached to me. I think that might be the theory. That is crazy. Like, he could lose 140 pounds in one fell
Yeah.
swoop. But I bet they're not able to take it all at one time. I've seen stories like that where people have these massive tumors, but because the blood flow in them and like the arteries and things like that are feeding it, they can't
Oh,
just take it
okay,
out. And
okay.
so,
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Okay,
They,
that's
they were
enough.
they were saying it was a 50-50 chance that they would be able to do the surgery successfully
Yeah.
because it had developed its own blood supply.
that's amazing. Holy cow.
Was this on the crab fishing and tumors of Alaska show?
Yes, yes. No, actually, I watch a lot of TLC, and there's a show I watched called My 600-Pound Life. That's a really interesting show. They chronicle people for years of their weight loss journey after like gastric bypass surgery and then skin removal surgery, which, by the way, is not as pleasant as it sounds. Oh, wait, it doesn't sound pleasant. It's bad.
Is that where you picked up the Fry It?
No, yeah. I that is one of those shows like that and Biggest Loser. You have a hard time watching those and having dessert because you could, in all seriousness, like you could sit there and say, oh my goodness, how do people get like that? Wow, that's disgusting. Don't you have any self-control? Why do you let yourself go like that? But think about how we all do that to some degree on smaller levels where you're like, you know what, I'll start my diet tomorrow. I can have this today. This is just this one little thing. I'm sad right now. I want to eat this today. And it starts there, and it starts small, and then it just gets bigger. But I think we all do that, but we judge everybody else that gets to that morbidly obese state.
And we all do it, but then I think that some people it's coupled with an actual condition where
Yeah.
they can't afford to do it. So even though they're doing the same thing that everyone else is, it gets out of control for them. And there's mental aspects that play into it. Like there's even like mental health issues
I would
that can
say,
play
yeah.
into it as well.
I would say weight loss, a lot of it is mental.
mental. Oh,
it
for sure.
starts in that place where you have to. Biggest Loser started doing that TV show where they started really getting into the mind of people and breaking down why you're doing this,
Mm-hmm.
and it would come from these, childhood things or, of various different things. But that once they started conquering that, they started losing more weight because it was more than just the physical side. It was the emotional side as well.
And there's a lot more to weight gain and weight loss, then we like to think it's calorie in, calorie out, that balance, and that's the same for everybody. But how people's bodies handle calories is completely different from person to person.
Yeah, because if you looked at my diet, I should be 600 pounds.
If I eat your diet,
Yeah.
I literally would be dead.
Yeah, exactly. And I keep asking you to come over for dinner, and you won't come over.
Weird.
This next story is about the Super Bowl still. There was a couple, their last name was Brady, and they're big Patriots fans.
Oh, wow.
So you can probably see where this is going. They had their baby that was born just 1 minute before the kickoff on Sunday, and so they named him Phoenix Tom Brady.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder if they had like a TV in the delivery room.
They did.
Did
Yeah,
they
'cause
really?
His wife joked, she's like, hey, if we get this baby out soon, we can make it to the Super Bowl party, but they stayed in the room and watched the game on the TV.
That's pretty impressive, though.
Yeah, for sure. And I like that the wife was in on it because you always hear these stories and you're like, ugh, what a jerk guy. But I
Yeah.
think that she was playing along with it and it was a fun thing for them to do as a couple,
Wow.
too.
I wonder if they made the doctor put on like receiver's gloves. like, don't drop that baby. All right.
Next story. This one is a hashtag never forget. A Cheeto sold on eBay this week for $100,000. It had 132 bids. A lot of people
What?
wanted this thing
What is it?
shaped like Harambe.
Okay, can you name Harambe? Who is Harambe? Betty Rock.
He came up with the Harambe.
Yes, not at
No,
all.
no.
But that's
Okay.
a good guess. Zach, do you remember Harambe?
I do.
Okay,
Rest
yeah.
in peace.
Yeah.
The gorilla.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh.
But yeah.
Yes, that was a good. I just
That
did
was
the.
close.
Yeah, I just did the kiss the fingers, point to the sky. Zach did the gorilla
Pound the
chest bump.
chest.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's genius. But also, why are we still obsessed with this gorilla?
I don't know. I mean, that's a.
It was called Hombre.
Harambe.
Harambe was his name.
Harambe.
Yeah, and so this is when the little kid fell into the enclosure at
Oh, it
the
was that
Cincinnati
one.
Zoo.
I'd
Yeah.
like to see this Cheeto.
How many
How big
gorillas
was
do you
it?
know that have been shot? So and
Well,
so
what was that one that Dennis got involved with?
that was the lion.
The lion.
That was Cecil.
Oh,
Why would you bring up
Cecil.
Cecil?
Oh, too
Seriously?
I don't have a
Sheesh.
picture of it.
Yeah, so this is the one where the gorilla had grabbed the little boy and was dragging him around, and people were thinking the little boy was going to get mauled and killed, and so the zoo shot the gorilla Harambe, and so
Right.
everyone got really upset about that, which I still think it's tragic, but still the right thing to do, I think.
Yeah, sometimes the right thing to do is still not something you want.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
could they have tranquilized it? I don't know. I think they thought
The-
that it would hurt it, and then he would get mad and then hurt the child.
The expert said no. The people on the internet said yes.
Oh well, I think internet
I'm gonna
experts.
fall on the side of the experts
Yeah.
who love this animal more than any of us.
That's
know,
very true, yeah.
You know, and they said, "Yep, that was the right thing to do."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. I misunderstood that. I had that backwards. I thought you were saying the internet said, no, it's fine. Like, they should have tranquilized
Yeah,
it.
the internet said you should have tranquilized them.
And the expert said no.
said no because they're unpredictable after that happens, and you just don't.
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
stun them, and then they take off running, and they rip that poor little kid apart by
and
accident.
it takes a long time to have effect. Per Michael Burns. Thank you.
Thank you. And ultimately, too, I mean, as much as we all love animals, I think human life is more important.
yeah.
you
And that's a
know?
good value statement to make.
But PETA just went crazy. PETA just, they're
The
throwing blood on
internet
our
went
station.
crazy.
Yeah.
The internet went crazy, and I think that it dances that fine line between joke now, like where people are still bringing
Right.
it up, and then the people who are still serious about it, they're like, "Oh yeah, Harambe, I'm still upset."
Yeah, but to
So-
spend $100,000 on a Cheeto that looks like Harambe, that
I hope
person,
they ate that shit. They got it.
that person totally does not deserve to have that kind of disposable income.
No,
They should shoot it.
Zach, really?
too
Is
soon.
that
No,
called
too
for?
soon.
Too soon.
Y'all are ridiculous.
Okay, this last story is a really good one. It starts out sad, though. There's a 12-year-old Cubs fan who was beaten up by a classmate at his school. So it starts out as this terrible tragedy,
Right.
tragic story. Ended up in the hospital
Oh.
with lots of major injuries. Yeah, it was
Okay, that's a beatdown.
it was a bad situation, but it's cool the response that he's gotten and the people who are doing good in the midst of that tragic situation. Like Cubs first baseman Anthony Rizzo, he actually tweeted out, "Heard you were a big Cubs fan, Henry. When you are better, I have a couple tickets waiting for you at Wrigley."
Oh, that's cool.
And so
Aw.
that kind of caught on. That got other people's attention. And so pretty soon, all of the Chicago schools, a lot of the schools were wearing their Cubs jerseys yesterday
Really?
in support of this kid. And the update today is that he is home now. The child is home.
Wow.
And Anthony Rizzo once again posted the update and said, I'm so glad you're home. Can't wait to see you
Cool.
this summer. So
That's good. I like to see when that happens. I mean, because I in high school and elementary school and stuff, I had skirmishes with bullies and things like that, and it was always like a pushing, shoving wrestling match somewhere in a parking lot or at a football game, and it was never to that degree. To put somebody in the hospital for that is insanity. Where that
yeah.
escalated to.
Yeah, and it's a sad situation, but I'm glad that it's kind of cool though, because that's the ultimate revenge on the bully. Like
Yeah.
I remember my mom when I was a kid, she'd always be like, it all comes out in the wash. That was her saying.
Right.
That no matter how bad it is now, eventually, like they'll have their due, and it might not be tomorrow, might not be next year, but it'll work out. And so for this kid, he was beaten up, but now he's getting the attention of the Cubs first baseman and getting to go to a really awesome game this summer in full style. So.
How crazy would it be if he took the bully with him? Like, I'm thinking like next level kind of like forgiveness and healing and stuff like that. And they take the bully with them. Like that would be kind of a crazy end to that story as well.
Did they say how old the kid was?
12. Oh, the bully? I don't know how old
no,
the bully
I was
was.
wondering about the kid.
The 12-year-old was the one in the hospital.
That's ridiculous.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, Betty Rock, what do you got?
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes, your turn. Yay, Betty Rock.
Yay! Okay, so it looks like a trademark battle has begun between Kylie Minogue and Kylie Jenner. So Kylie Minogue, she's the Australian pop star. She's saying, "Can't get you out of my head."
Can I go back in my hoodie now that it's not my turn?
Oh yeah, totally. That's fine. The two are feuding over trademarking the name Kylie. And Jenner started by trying to register her first name for advertising and endorsement services because Kylie Jenner does have a makeup, lipstick,
Right.
All the stuff that she just wants to use the name Kylie.
Oh.
But Kylie Minogue is like, that ain't going to happen. I was here before you. So
Yeah, I'm
back up.
older than you.
We should
Exactly.
trademark our first names.
Betty and Bekah?
Well, everybody.
I think they already have a trademark on Wally, at least with regards to the show. Somebody else owns that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
the Wally show. I think our company owns that.
Oh,
Yes.
well, that works.
But
That's unfortunate for me.
there was a little bit of shade thrown by Minogue towards Jenner when she said that she's going against this because she's citing possible confusion and damage to the Minogue branding. So she thinks that
Oh.
Jenner could cause some damage for her name.
Hashtag she's saying I don't like you, girl, and like
Mhm.
you are a bad girl, and so you could damage my
That's
spotless
exactly
reputation.
what she's saying.
Yeah.
A new album of Beyonce's covers is hitting stores this month, and it's all lullaby. So I'm
Oh.
going to play you a little clip of a song. Beyonce did one called Hold Up. So this is the original.
Okay.
Hold up, they don't love you like I love you. Slow down, they don't love you like I love you. Back up, they don't love you like I love you. Step down.
I appreciate you playing this for one reason and one reason only, reminding me why I don't buy Beyonce albums.
Here is the lullaby version of Hold Up.
Oh, man. Between this dark
Soothing.
hood and that
Yeah.
music.
Gonna go to sleep?
I'm going to go to sleep.
I like the lullaby version better, like a lot better.
But I have a little bone to pick with Beyonce because they say that she's so great and she's setting the bar high, but no, she's not. Because when I listened to the original song, it sounded so familiar, and I can tell you why. This was a huge hit by Andy Williams. It's called "Can't Get
What?
Used to
By
Losing You."
Andy
it was a
Williams?
1963 hit. Yeah, I've got a
No.
little clip of it.
She stole from Andy
Yes,
Williams,
she did.
an old white guy.
I know. See, it's the same beat.
Guess there's no use in hanging around.
Let me hear the Beyonce now.
Hold up, they don't love you like I love you. Slow down, they don't love you like I love
See?
you. Back up, they don't love you like I love you.
Same thing.
Step down, they don't love you like I love you.
All right.
Told you.
What do you think,
And-
Zach, as our resident musical expert?
It's the same thing.
I would not find in her favor on that. Or I would not find against her on that. That's
What? It's the same beat.
It's all
Everything is the same.
all
And
music is just
and
repackaged other music.
the lyrics aren't even hers. It's by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs with Maps.
What?
I'm serious.
Investigative journalism today.
I know
Let's
this.
see.
It's the same thing.
Let me see.
Wow.
Hold up, they don't love you like I love you. slow down.
See?
They don't love you like I
Oh,
love you.
look at
She's
you.
copying from everyone. Andy Williams and the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. She's no true
Wow.
original, please.
Wow, that
You've
is.
done some digging today.
No, it sounded so familiar, and I was like, I know this. It's from Andy Williams.
My big question in this is because I know that took a lot of time to put together. Who watched all the cat videos for you today? Like, who did
Well,
that?
No one.
You've got to
So
get back on that.
When we're done,
Yes. Don't,
ASAP.
don't talk to me for 2 hours.
Right.
I'm curious if we get a Facebook Live vote on this. If you think it's did Beyonce rip off these
She ripped off
these
Andy
other artists,
Williams.
or was it her own creation?
Yeah.
I would love to know what you think.
Play it one more time.
Or a tribute.
Is it a tribute
Yes,
or
it's a
rip-off?
tribute.
Oh yeah, Beyonce.
Hold up, they don't love you like I love you. Slow down, they don't love you like I love you.
Same
Back
thing.
up, they don't love you like I love you.
Guess there's no use in hanging around.
Like the guitar little thing there, like gun, gun,
Right.
gun, and I'm like I'm just mixing that on the fly because I'm kind of like a DJ, and so for that to sound even remotely like a mashup, okay, it's close.
Wendy is with me.
Wow.
Brienne is with me.
It's pretty
Philip,
split. Well,
He's with me.
it might be tipping toward ripoff.
Dana
Mm.
needs to shut her mouth. Drew is with me. Michael is with me.
I love how
Amy is with me.
Anybody that doesn't agree with Betty is automatically not just a difference of opinion, but her enemy.
That's a good point, Jess Ann. Even if she did write it, she shouldn't claim it.
Yes, yeah, it's not a good song.
That's a fair point.
All right, what else you got? You had a couple more, and then we
Nope,
gotta.
that's
Oh,
it.
that was it. Oh, well, fantastic. All right, that is gonna do it.
Fantastic. You shouldn't say that about me.
No, fantastic. We're
That it's
done,
over?
and you did a great job. And
Oh,
now we
yeah.
can get to the other
Say
parts
it
of
to
the
the
show
camera. They don't
where you
believe
were
it.
great.
I don't want anything to do with this.
I know. So that's gonna have to do it for our precast today.
I'm good.
Hoodie McHoodenstein over there. And so we got to get to the podcast because we got other stuff.
We have
gotta
a table
make.
we have to cut into.
Yes.
We get to cut into the big boardroom conference table, and I feel like we should have to
What?
get
Why?
permission for that.
No,
Really?
we're putting
Eh.
a digital box into it to help make the conferences and stuff better. And like this is a table I think they've probably had for 20 years
But, yeah,
here.
it's not nice.
Oh no,
It's
no.
large.
No, but it deserves a hole.
Our bosses are not watching now, so you better get up there fast
Yeah.
before they see
Yeah,
this.
I brought the
They're
tools.
gonna do what?
Once I start cutting, we're committed at that point. So it'll be kind of fun. All right, that's gonna have to do it for the precast today. On with the podcast.